45% tariffs. But that appears to only apply to two types of goods, electric vehicles and syringes. It takes into account previously existing levies on Chinese EVs and syringes, which President Joe Biden increased to 100% last year.
From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
From the studios of Extreme Sports in Hastings, Nebraska, we present Huddle Up, a great way to start your day with all the news, weather, and sports you need, interesting interviews, and friendly conversation from two guys that go together like Scooby and Shaggy, Mike Will and Tyson Havronic.
Well, hi again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Huddle Up here on Extreme Sports, and welcome to this Thursday, the 17th day of April for 2025. Mike Will, Tyson Havronic, ready to start your day the right way with all of your news, weather, and sports as you wake up, get going on this day. Going to be talking about the Nebraska men's basketball program. Evidently, they have found a new assistant coach. We'll tell you about that coming up. A guy who got his coaching career started as a graduate assistant coach at Wayne State. Nebraska's likely starting punter for next season is entering the transfer portal. Also, Nebraska has lost a wide receiver to the transfer portal, and Alex Bullock, who is moving on. The Nebraska women's basketball team has plucked a player from the transfer portal in signing Maryland transfer Emily Fisher. We'll tell you about that coming up. Huskers also picking up a newcomer, high school senior at National High School powerhouse Ontario Christian High School out in California. Hastings College baseball team going to be in action today. The Hastings High baseball team will play at top-seeded Bennington today in the semifinals of the Eastern Midlands Conference Baseball Tournament. Adams Central going to be on the diamond as well today as they're going to be taking on the Aurora Huskies later on today. And 9 Hastings High seniors have signed their national letters of intent. We'll tell you who they are and where they're going here in the next hour or so here on Huddle Up as we welcome in Tyson Havronic from the Western Studios here this morning. Good morning.
And a good morning to you, Mike. Yeah, plenty to get to on the sports side of things. Interesting news yesterday in the transfer portal. I found that kind of humorous with the starting punter declaring that he's going to hit the transfer portal. I guess that means that he's got pretty good confidence that he's never going to see the field because our offense is going to be so good, right? Like, that's what that means?
I'm concerned about that position all of a sudden.
We're just going to keep scoring touchdowns so we don't have to worry about punting. Yeah, I don't know. That was interesting there. You normally don't see special teams players, especially those who were given the nod to start at that special teams position, hitting the transfer portal. So we'll find a specialist here before that window closes up.
So that's what's coming up in the sports world here today. That was the shocking news yesterday. A kid that came here from Washington just a few months ago. In fact, back in January, I think he came here from Washington, and it looked like he was going to be the heir apparent to Brian Bushnini, who has handled the punting chores here for the last year or two. He's a senior. He has moved on. It looked like this guy was going to be firmly entrenched as the Huskers punter for this season. Well, all of a sudden, now Matt Rule has got some things to worry about here. Maybe we go out into the transfer portal and find another one. Yeah, the transfer portal is open as of yesterday. Maybe we just go out and we find us another punter. I'm sure there's one or two in there.
You might be able to pluck one or two. Probably he gets, from Washington off the plane, steps foot in Nebraska, and starts asking around. He goes, is it this windy all the time? Do I have to punt in these conditions? Yeah. Deuces, I'm out of here. Who knows how that all unfolded. But, yeah, there certainly is not a lack of specialists that are coming from like bigger programs that didn't get the opportunity. So we'll find something. I'm not too worried about the punter at this point in the proceedings.
All right, so that's what's going on the sports. Anything wild and wacky going on in the news biz?
News biz, we're going to focus on Give Hastings Day today. There was a small fire, no injuries reported yesterday. no really damage is done other than to the trailer home over at Schmitty's. That came through about yesterday evening around 5 o'clock. But we're going to focus today heavily on Give Hastings Day. Yesterday opened up the early giving portion for Give Hastings Day, and we've even got a few projects that we're going to focus on for the City of Hastings nonprofits that are looking to raise some funds. The Hastings Public Library for a green space, Hastings Fire and Rescue for a medical tool to find veins on their emergency response calls. We'll highlight those two stories more in specifics as we continue to roll along, but all about Give Day today. And big kudos to Dan Peters. He's over with the the Hastings Community Foundation. He is going to join my class today to talk a little bit about Give Hastings Day. That's part of their final project that I've got him putting together, is helping tell the stories for some of these nonprofits. So he's agreed to swing on into the class today. We'll have a live radio interview with them, and also do some quick Q&A with the students. So very exciting opportunities as we get set for the biggest day of giving of the year coming up on May 1st.
All right, we'll tell you more about that coming up as you wake up, get going here this morning. NBA playoffs last night. We might as well start there and get this out of the way. A couple of games. Miami beat Chicago 109-90, and Dallas over Sacramento 120-106. So Chicago, Sacramento, they've been eliminated. No games tonight. Tomorrow you're going to get a couple of more play-in games for the NBA playoffs. Miami will be at Atlanta and Dallas at Memphis. And then the real thing starts on Saturday. Some of the series get underway. In the East, it'll be Milwaukee playing Indiana and Detroit at the New York Knicks. In the West on Saturday, the Los Angeles Clippers at Denver, and Minnesota is at the Los Angeles Lakers. So that's what's going on in the NBA. Those phony play-in games continue, and then the real playoffs, the series actually get underway on Saturday. So,
and they are starting at the exact same time as the NHL playoffs. Getting underway Saturday officially is the first matchups that have been announced. Two intriguing ones in the Western Conference, and you might know, leading things off in the Western Conference playoffs, the very first playoff game will be my St. Louis Blues. They take on the Winnipeg Jets, 5 p.m. start. Game will be on TNT, and that'll be followed by the Avs and Stars and Colorado and Dallas, but that it does not have a TV designation behind it at this point. I'm sure it'll be announced as we move along. So they're starting for game times and puck drops and TV stations. Saturday, the NHL playoffs get underway.
So are those 5-game series too, or 7? Or
7. Starting with 7.
Everybody goes with 7.
Go through. The playoffs will end no later than June 29th.
Oh, God. So it could be July.
It could be July. Yep.
Wow.
Shooting off fireworks.
Watching hockey.
Stanley Cup trophies. Yeah.
Nice. That's what's coming out. And we'll kind of keep you up to date on the NBA and the NHL playoffs throughout the next month or so. Well, we'll keep you. There's a few people that watch hockey and a few people that watch the NBA this time of the year when the playoffs get started.
And it's playoffs, so we got something to talk about.
Playoffs?
It's playoffs.
So we're going to be talking about that coming up. Let's see, a couple of other things we want to touch on before we get to the news and sports break. Mm-hmm. Nebraska evidently has hired a new assistant coach for Fred Hoiberg's staff. A lot of people, a lot of media folks are looking at Wyoming assistant coach Pat Monahan to fill the spot left vacant when Adam Howard left last month. He took a job as an assistant coach at North Carolina State. Monahan, he's kind of been around. He spent last season at Wyoming. He's also been an assistant coach at Southern Illinois, at Milwaukee, at Green Bay, also at Minnesota State. He began his coaching career as a graduate assistant coach at Wayne State. So now he's going to be one of Fred Hoiberg's assistant coaches. Not anything official yet from the university, but all indications are that Pat Monahan will be an assistant coach for the Nebraska men's basketball team.
Coming full circle for Monahan, from Wayne State, from Nebraska all the way out to the Horizon Leagues, to out west in Wyoming in the mountains, to right back here at Nebraska, coming home.
Yeah. That's just his assistant coaching positions. He's been several other places. His resume is long. Looks like he spent about 1 year at each of his stops. He's been as part of basketball operations at a number of schools. Those are just the spots where he's been an assistant coach, but he's been in various roles in administration or as operations on the basketball roles. But he's made assistant coaching stops at Southern Illinois, Milwaukee, Green Bay, and at Minnesota State. So we welcome in Pat Monahan. He'll be an assistant coach for the Nebraska men's basketball team.
Very nice.
The Nebraska women, they plucked somebody from the transfer portal yesterday. Emily Fisher, she comes in from Maryland. She has played in 52 games for the Terps. Statistically, not anything too impressive for Emily Fisher, but we'll see what she can do at Nebraska. We have also picked up a newcomer in Elena Neal. She's from National High School Power Ontario Christian out in California. She's got some numbers. Last year, she averaged 12.6 rebounds, about 1.8 assists, and 2.2 steals per game. So, Elena Neal out of California, Emily Fisher from the University of Maryland, the latest two members to join the Nebraska women's basketball team.
Very nice. Before we get to our news and sports break, I did want to make a confession on the show. It wasn't a two-pull start yesterday for my mower. I was really confident in my Toro snapper, that it was going to come out there and, one or two good pulls on the chain, and we were just going to be mowing like old times. I go to put the throttle down to start up the mower, and I hear a little snap.
A little snap.
The chain that connects the throttle to the motor had just broken clean off, like snapped in half. And so I was sitting there, and I didn't realize it at the time, like that it had broken halfway up. Because I'm like looking down at the connectors, and I'm like, well, yeah, that's connected, and this is connected, and that's a little bit loose, but shouldn't be that bad.
And you're not mechanically inclined, so you're not tear the mower engine apart.
I dabble with the mower. Like, I watched Dad do it last summer, and I'm kind of one of those visual learners. Like, I watch and I see, and then I operate. But I still did the best thing that a 39-year-old man could do, and so I did call Dad, and I'm like, hey, this isn't working. Look at it and wave the magic wand. And so I'm sitting here cranking about 200 different times trying to figure out how to make this thing to work. He shows up, he goes, well, the chain's broke. That's probably your first inclination. So we, all told, fixed the chain, took her down to Ace, got another wire, did the hookups. And so what ultimately turned out to be a 4.5-hour ordeal, just like you said it was, where I said, no, I'll knock this baby out by 10. We wrapped up about 1 o'clock yesterday afternoon.
Just in time to go to work. Yeah,
I was really, really pleased with myself.
But look on the bright side, the next time you mow, it should be ready to go.
Should be ready to go.
You didn't change the oil or anything like you should?
Didn't change the oil like we should.
All right, well.
Change the oil.
Yeah, sometime you should.
At some point.
Although, I can't remember the last time I've changed the oil in my mower.
Yeah.
I really can't. I don't know if I've ever done it. I have
you're telling me to do something that you've never done.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever changed the oil in my mower. I bought this thing, I don't know, probably 5 years ago.
Okay.
And I've never changed the oil. Why do you change the oil in your lawnmower?
That side just doesn't exist. I think you just got to put oil in it, right? Like, it doesn't need an oil change.
Yeah, I check it, make sure it's up to the full mark.
Does it have oil in there?
Yeah. Having oil in it is a lot better than having no oil or dirty oil. Yeah, I don't regularly change my
I don't think
oil.
Dirty oil really factors into the mower's performance. I think just as long as there's some oil in there.
I don't know. We're not We're not
We're not
experts.
experts on anything.
No, especially not lawnmower repair
Oh, hell
or maintenance. We're just happy the damn thing starts. Mine did start on the first pull, and I couldn't believe that. Because last year, I can't remember it ever starting on the first pull.
Question to the lobby.
I
We
pulled-
regularly oil change our lawnmowers.
Yeah, do you do that?
Is that a thing?
Yeah, so I pulled mine out of the shed yesterday. I like you. I was going to quickly get my lawn mowed because I had some other things to do. Went out and cranked on it one time, and it started. I couldn't believe it.
That's nuts.
I almost sat down and had to take a break because of that. Yeah, so I don't know. Like we said, we're not experts on anything. Certainly not lawnmower maintenance. It's probably a good idea. They should probably take your lawnmower in and get the blade sharpened and change the oil in it before the start of another season.
That sounds like an added expense that I don't want to do.
Yeah, where do you take your blades in to get sharpened? I can run over to the IT guy. He's probably got a drill.
He's got no opinion on the mower, too. He says that we're supposed to change it every season. Change it every 50 hours of work time. No. No.
50 hours?
No, that's awful.
That's
It took me 50 hours to get the backyard done yesterday.
I would say you should probably do it at the start of every season, but how many people do that? How many people are like us that the winter goes by and you go to your shed, you're going to mow the lawn for the first time. You're not going to take like 3 hours to get your lawnmower ready.
Nope.
You're not going to sit down and change the oil and take the blades off and go sharpen the blades and
I was
wash
just
your
impressed,
mower.
like, my big thing was I wanted to put fresh gas in it. So I went out and got some like new gas, and then I put some fresh gas, and then it didn't start, and then I was really upset because the chain broke, and I was sitting here thinking it was gas the entire time. So after
Okay,
the
I have
second
a question for you.
Yeah,
when you
what's
buy
that?
when you buy gas,
Yeah.
did you buy the unleaded gas or the high price gas?
I bought the cheap gas, the 10% ethanol gas.
Yeah, you're not supposed to do that.
Well, I'm putting corn in my mower. So
You're not supposed to do that.
It's just 10% ethanol.
I know, but you're not supposed to.
Environmentally friendly. My mower works with it just fine.
No, I heard a couple of years ago when I was having problems with my lawnmower and the engine, the people that worked on it said you're not supposed to put ethanol in your lawnmower
Okay.
because it does something to the rubber gaskets or something in there. And then especially when you leave it in your mower all winter long, it does something to your mower. So you got to go out.
Like break the chain?
No. You got to go out and you got to buy the high price fuel, the 350 a gallon fuel.
Because here's how the gas tank works. Like, I go fill up the gas tank when I need to put gas in my car, and I put ethanol in the car, and so I'll fill up the car, and if there's just a little bit left over, I'll just throw it on into the gas tank.
That's a good
10%
idea.
ethanol. It's not.
It'll work.
It's not going to kill it.
It'll work. So anyway, that's our lawnmower maintenance tips for the day. Maybe that could be like a new show,
That's an outstanding idea.
a new segment on this show. 402-834-1330 is our telephone number if you'd like to chime in here today, something sports related, or if you're having problems with your mower. Mike and Tyson might have some tips. God, that'd be
Some
a great
hot
show.
takes.
Maybe chime in on the social media sites. We're monitoring that as well. Lots of people in the lobby saying, what the hell are those guys doing talking about lawnmowers? I thought this was a heavily sports-related show. Hell no, they're talking about lawnmower maintenance.
Well, that's what happens when you're in the middle of the regular season in baseball and the postseason is underway on the hockey and NHL side of things, and there's no real Husker stuff to talk about yet today other than a few transfers and a punter. So
we talk about our lawnmower
get
maintenance.
lawn. But I'll say this about the lawn mowing experience. Like, I hate doing it, but I love it when it's over. Like, there is nothing better than looking back at a fresh cut grass, at a fresh cut lawn, that smell of grass and gasoline, that little mixture that I could wear as cologne. I swear there's nothing better than it. It's one of my favorite pastimes.
But then I looked at my yard and I said, God, it looks like crap.
Yeah, why?
It's got dandelions in it.
Oh, yes.
I used to
free.
I used to have a a lawn company come out and spray like 4 times a year.
Yep.
Well, last year my yard was completely dismantled by the city of Hastings and Aloe. They were digging in my backyard, so I really didn't have a yard. So I put a halt on. There's no use to having my guys come out and spray my yard when all I got is dirt. So now I've replanted the grass, or they did, and it's looking halfway decent. So I haven't called the lawn maintenance guys yet. And now my yard's full of dandelions. Looks like crap. Looks like my neighbor's yard. It blends in with them, but God, I hate that. Got dandelions all over the place.
Now that's like the part that I hate. You talk about the neighbors. They keep their lawns like pristine condition. They spend all of this time like working on their lawns, and they make me feel guilty because I'm the one in between both of those houses. Beautiful lawn, beautiful lawn. Here's me, and I'm like, I'm just trying to keep up with the Joneses over here because I don't want to be that guy that makes the neighborhood look all that bad.
Brings down the valuation.
Yeah, I mean, and they give me a lot of pointers too. Like, you know, they'll sit and they'll leave their lawnmower in their driveway and they'll start it up a couple times, seeing if I can get baited out to come out and start my yard work. Or sometimes they'll put their lawnmower in my driveway, like behind my car, saying, "Hey, you should probably focus on this." Yeah, so that's my neighbors.
Or their fertilizer spreader.
Yeah,
they get out there. Yeah, they get out their fertilizer spreader.
Yeah,
and put out their fertilizer. And kind of leave it over toward your place.
I've got a company that comes out and sprays. So, yep.
Yeah, I got to probably give them a call. They're going to say, "You call me now and the dandelions are in full bloom, you idiot. You should have done this 3 weeks ago." I'm just getting around.
There was snow on the ground 3 weeks ago.
I'm just getting around to it.
Yeah.
Just getting. I'm just happy my yard's mowed. So, anyway, that's our lawn care tips for you here on this Thursday. 7:21 now. Waking up with Mike and Tyson. This is Huddle Up on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
Today's focus, Give Hastings Day, and early giving is now open for Give Hastings Day, the fundraising event that will culminate on Thursday, May 1st. Now in its 12th year, Give Hastings Day allows donors to support any combination of 113 Adams County nonprofits with just one gift. Since 2014, Give Hastings Day has raised over $6.5 million for 152 local nonprofit organizations and projects. A record $1.1 million was raised a year ago, a healthy increase from the humble beginnings in 2014, where $339,000 was raised. Now through Sunday, April 27th, you can round up your checkout total at Russ's Market and Allen's Food Mart in Hastings, with those funds going to the Support All nonprofits. This Give Hastings Day, I should say, the Hastings Public Library is inviting the community to rally behind a transformational initiative, the 302 Project. The campaign turning the former gas station site that is adjacent to the Hastings Public Library into a vibrant green space, bringing new life to the downtown area and creating a welcoming, accessible, and environmentally conscious hub. The 302 Project is more than a beautification effort. It is a commitment to community connection and outdoor engagement. Hastings Public Library has a goal of $15,000 to support the project. Hastings Fire and Rescue seeking public support from Give Hastings Day for the purchase of 2 vein finders for the frontline apparatus. Hastings Fire and Rescue has a goal to raise $8,000 to dramatically enhance the ability of firefighters, paramedics, and emergency response technicians to deliver first-rate emergency services to the city of Hastings and surrounding communities. Medical emergencies make up for 70% of the calls that Hastings Fire and Rescue responds to, with IV implementation being a major part of those rescues. The portable devices show veins in real time with no lag, allowing the device to accommodate patient movement while giving the emergency services providers the ability to view an area that otherwise they would not be able to. It is now coming up on 7:25. We will spin things back over to you, Mike, over on the East Side Studios. What's going down in sports?
Well, Nebraska head men's basketball coach Fred Hoiberg has filled the open assistant coach position on his staff. Hoiberg is expected to hire Wyoming assistant coach Pat Monahan to fill the spot left vacant when Adam Howard left last month to take a job at North Carolina State. Monahan spent last season at Wyoming, He's also been an assistant coach at Southern Illinois, at Milwaukee, and at Minnesota State. He began his coaching career as a graduate assistant coach at Wayne State. Nebraska's likely starting punter for next season has entered the transfer portal. Jack McAllister, who transferred from Washington in December with 1 year of eligibility remaining, announced his decision on social media yesterday. Nebraska's only other punter on its roster is Camden Cook, a redshirt freshman who was the number 2 punter last season behind senior Brian Bushnini, but did not see any action. Nebraska has also lost wide receiver Alex Bullock to the transfer portal. Bullock is a former walk-on at Nebraska. He has spent 2 seasons with the Huskers, catching 16 passes for 233 yards and a touchdown. The Nebraska women's basketball team has added 2 players to their roster. The Huskers have picked up Maryland transfer Emily Fisher from the transfer portal. She spent her first 2 seasons with Terrapins, playing in 52 games. Nebraska has also signed newcomer Elena Neal out of National High School Power Ontario Christian out in California. Last year, she averaged 12.1 points, 6.8 rebounds, 1.8 assists, and 2 steals per game. Hastings College baseball team will play host to Midland today out at Duncan Field. The Broncos are 7-27 in the season, 4-16 in the Great Plains Athletic Conference. They have lost 6 games in a row and 9 of the past 10 games. Midland is 15-23, but they're 11-9 in the conference. Action will get underway at 1 this afternoon. Pre-game coverage begins at 12:45 here on Extreme Sports. Hastings High baseball team will play at top-seeded Bennington today in the semifinals of the Eastern Midlands Conference baseball tournament. The Tigers are 8-4 in the season after beating Elkhorn North 5-4 on Tuesday. The Badgers are 14-1 after knocking off Lincoln Northwest 13-3 earlier this week. First pitch will be at 4:30 this afternoon. The other semifinal game, Waverly will play at Norris. Other action today, Aurora will be in town to take on Adams Central. That game will be out at the Smith Complex today. Patriots are currently 10-4 on the season. First pitch will be at 4:30 this afternoon. In the Hack tournament yesterday, Lincoln East beat Kearney 9-5, and Lincoln Southwest defeated Grand Island by the score of 13-2. 9 Hastings High seniors have signed their letters of intent. Tucker Sinek and Cooper Cole will play football next year at Hastings College. Alex Reynolds will run track for the Broncos, and Gio Hernandez and Nolan Cardona will play soccer at Hastings College. Austin Carrera has signed a Division I offer to run track and cross country at Wichita State. Mackenzie Nolette will run track at Nebraska Wesleyan. Katie Drake will play volleyball at Manhattan Christian College. And Nayli Goonsman will play soccer at Northeast Community College. Yet in the NBA playoffs last night, in the play-in games, Miami beat Chicago 109-90, and Dallas defeated Sacramento 120-106. That's a check on your sports headlines this morning. 7:28 now on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning weather update on Extreme Sports with Chief Meteorologist Tim Jones.
Another warm day on this Thursday. The wind returns, and there's a chance for severe thunderstorms to the east of the Tri-Cities. Hey, everybody. Tim Jones, Nebraska Weather TV. 87 is the high today. We'll see increasing clouds through the afternoon. Southerly winds 10 to 15, gusting to 25. There is a slight risk in our area for large hail damaging winds, and enhanced risk in the eastern part of the state for large hail damaging winds and an isolated tornado. The threat would be closer to Omaha. For us, it's very possible we may not even get a drop of rain.
You might know. Right now, it's a good-looking morning, 60 degrees, south winds at 13 miles per hour. You're listening to Huddle Up here on Extreme Sports.
Accessible and affordable holistic care is just around the corner at Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center. Located at 208 South Burlington Avenue, Suite 101 in Hastings. At Bamboo Spa, we offer a range of therapies to help you unwind and recharge. Experience soothing massages, rejuvenating head spa scalp treatments, and our Advanced Glow 2 facials. Discover the healing power of ozone therapy and frequency healing. Become a member for exclusive 24-hour access to our therapeutic amenities, including the infrared sauna, hydro massage, and cryo lounge. Members enjoy 20% off all services and 10% off products in our non-toxic retail shop. Visit our Facebook page to learn more and book your appointment today. Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center, truly holistic care, designed for you.
I'm John Butler, funeral director and owner at Livingston Butler Volland Funeral Home and Cremation Center in Hastings.
And I'm Nikki Butler, the advanced funeral planning specialist. Whether you choose a traditional service, cremation, or a unique memorial service, our experienced staff is here to help guide you through every step. Visit us at lbvfh.com to learn more about our services and how we can support you.
Livingston Butler Volland Funeral Home and Cremation Center. We are here when your need is greatest.
Hamilton has been providing IT solutions for businesses across the state of Nebraska for more than 3 decades. We know that Nebraska businesses are a driving force of support for the communities in which we live and work. We keep them connected and protected by delivering cybersecurity, hosted phones, and managed IT. We are grateful to be part of our Nebraska communities and to support their technology needs.
More information at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Extreme Sports has been bringing you the exclusive home of Hastings College Athletics, and we're just getting started. Thanks to our incredible sponsors and your support, Extreme Sports 2 has been a huge success, and now we're excited to announce the launch of Extreme Sports 3. With Extreme Sports 3, you'll get even more local sports coverage. Plus, 24/7 access to Sports by Line, where you'll hear the best in national sports talk. Whether it's Hastings College, high school action, or the latest from around the sports world, we've got it covered across all 3 streams. And don't forget, when we're not broadcasting games, join us weekday mornings from 7 to 8 a.m. for Huddle Up with Mike Will and Tyson Havronik. It's the perfect way to start your day with sports, news, weather, and great local interviews. So tune in, check out all 3 streams, and stay with us for even more sports coverage coming soon. Thank you to our sponsors for making it all possible, and to you, our listeners, for keeping Extreme Sports strong.
Mike Will and Tyson Havronik with you. This is Huddle Up on Extreme Sports for a Thursday, 17th day of April, 2025. Wherever you're listening to us today, thanks for joining us. Whether you're on our website at x-streamsports.com, maybe on your smartphone on your way to work or school today with our free mobile app. Thanks for joining us. Maybe on your smart speaker, Roku TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitch, wherever you're watching and listening to us. Thanks for joining us for Huddle Up. And if you're new to the show, yeah, you can watch us. Even though this is audio-based, you can watch us. Just go to our social media sites, and you'll find the video feed and all of our social media sites. You can watch us, too. Got cameras set up in the both studios here this morning. Not that that is anything ideal. Most of the time, we look like crap. But we're getting through it here, especially after we got done mowing our yards yesterday.
Crap? What do you mean look like crap?
You got your St. Louis Cardinals on again today?
Every day, man.
Every day for the whole summer you're going to wear that?
They're easy to put on, and they cover up like all of the stained shirts from the night before. So just toss on a jersey and away we go. It's a pretty easy wardrobe fix here that we have working, and it's a good system, and I'm gonna stick with it.
Well, fortunately, it's only got the upper half of our bodies.
Right.
If we want to wear pajama pants along with the tops, we can.
I'm just wearing athletic shorts. So I think it's my favorite thing about this particular morning show that we do.
Yeah.
Is that I don't have to like worry about, oh God, what am I going to wear? Got to shower before I go into work and do all these things before 6:30. No, it's a roll out of bed. Whatever we're working on and whatever we fell asleep in last night, which is typically athletic shorts and a white shirt, and then just toss on a baseball jersey and away we go, and we're ready to roll for the day.
Your baseball cap?
Yep.
I
had to change the baseball caps. I took one out to mowing yesterday and sweat through that baby. So that's now my mowing cap. So rocking a new ball cap today.
Oh, yeah, that looks beautiful.
Thank you.
That looks
Appreciate
beautiful. So anyway,
yeah.
Mike and Tyson here this morning. If you'd like to join us, give us a call, 402-834-1330, 402-834-1330. If there's something we've talked about here today, something that's on your mind, maybe something non-sports related. If you got a mower question, it seems like that's been heavy on our show today. Mower issues and mower maintenance. If we don't have the answer, maybe somebody does that's in the lobby. Maybe just some of the things you want to talk about here today. And we've got baseball coming up later on today here on Extreme Sports. Hastings College, this will be actually their final doubleheader, their home doubleheader of the season, as the Broncos will entertain Midland today. Then Hastings has got games against Mount Marty on Friday. And then the next week they got a 4-game series at Doane to wrap up the regular season. Broncos probably not going to make the postseason tournament unless chips fall. They're currently in last place in the conference.
Got to start stringing together some wins to make the conference tournament. And it's been, call it what it is. It's been a rough year for Hastings College. You have a coaching change midway through. To be honest, late into the GPAC season, and then bringing in and having to kind of get together after that. And they struggled a little bit on the road over the weekend, and just trying to get round into form and salvage something here from the season. But you start stringing together some wins, and like I said, it's baseball, man. Like, who knows? One bounce of the ball goes your way, and next thing you know, you find yourself fighting in a game. And so we'll see if the Broncos can't right the ship today and can't get some things going and at least get some momentum. I think that's kind of the important thing at this point. Stop focusing on the big picture, the GPAC tournament, and just take it one game at a time. And if you just start chipping away at this thing, who knows where you could end up with a couple of series left to go here to climb into a potential spot. But, it's going to start with one, and just got to take it inning by inning. So small steps for Hastings College baseball today, and we're excited to get that underway. On the softball side of things, they've got a big series next week against Midland, and in all likelihood to probably need to take one from the Midland Warriors, make those Doane games meaningful for the final homestand coming up next Saturday over at the Bill Smith Softball Complex. Maybe you get the little fortune from the Bass perspective, and the wind might be blowing out for a change. It's been gusting at 30, blowing in, and that park is played extremely long. But you want to make those games meaningful, and to have the opportunity to do that, you're going to have to take one from Midland. So big week for our diamond sports, our spring sports that we've done here for Hastings College to try to continue and keep the season rolling here.
So that's what's going on college-wise. High school-wise, Hastings High and Adams Central both playing today. Hastings High will be in the Eastern Midlands Conference Baseball Tournament in the semifinals. The Tigers playing at number 1 seed Bennington today. So a tough test. Tigers 8-4 on the season. They beat Elkhorn North the other day on Tuesday 5-4. Badgers are 14-1. They beat Lincoln Northwest in the opening round 13-3 on Tuesday. So the first pitch there is going to be at 4:30. The other semifinal game will have Waverly playing at Norris. Winners will play in the championship game on Friday. So definitely a tough task today for Hastings High as the Tigers go up against the number 1 seed, the Bennington Badgers, today on the road.
That's on the road, right? At Bennington, and I don't want to be a Debbie Downer or take a look at the forecast models. That might be dicey getting that baby in later on this evening. Looks like severe weather really kind of pinpointed in on that Omaha metro area. So Hopefully they'll be able to squeeze those games in and get that in before Mother Nature has its say. But yeah, they're looking at a kind of enhanced risk for some severe weather out towards the metro area today.
Other action, Adams Central is going to be on, they're going to be at home today, kind of. They're going to take on the Aurora Huskies. I say home in quotation marks because they're playing that game out at Smith because of the Hastings College games at Duncan. So it'll be Aurora playing at Adams Central today out at the Smith Complex. Patriots are 10-4 in the season. Huskies are coached by former
Kevin
Five
Asher.
Points Bank head coach and what else did he do? St. Cecilia
basketball.
Hastings 5 Points Bank. Kevin Asher, the head man at Aurora. So he's going to bring his Huskies, bring his dogs to town to take on Adams Central today. That'll be at 4:30 out at the Smith Complex. The Hack tournament, the Hack baseball tournament. The Heartland, is that the Heartland
Athletic Conference? Yep.
Lincoln East beating Kearney yesterday 9-5, and Lincoln Southwest over Grand Island by the score of 13-2. Lincoln East went on to win the championship there for the third year in a row. So
the Hack tournament. That sounds more like something we could be a part of.
The Hack
tournament. Just a bunch of hacks.
Bunch of hacks, like a golf tournament. The Hack tournament. Bring on Tyson and Mike.
There you go.
We'll be a leadoff duo.
You're keeping you're telling me by your words that you really, really want to have this golf tournament that we talked about last week. The Extreme Sports Hack Golf Tournament sponsored by Garage Beer.
God, that'd be good.
That'd be so much fun.
We got to put that together. I'll run into the golf gurus here next week or so. Bounce it off of their minds. They're going to look at me and say, "Are you kidding me?"
You'd have to close the course. We'd be all over the damn course. You couldn't have that be open to the public that day because there would be so many fours.
Have you been out yet?
No, I haven't.
Gino tells me that you and him are playing in Blue Hill for the 4th of July.
I guess we're signed up.
Yeah, I mean, Gino's already got you signed up.
Oh, yeah.
So you really probably need to take a couple of rounds before the 4th of July?
We'll see if we can squeeze him in.
I mean, you just can't get the clubs out of the closet and, all right, Gino, I'm ready to play.
That's what I did last year. It worked out okay for me.
You played like crap. You always play like crap.
I got a new driver. And sometimes, I've always said this, right? And I used to shout this out at my baseball kids when I was coaching over in Bow. And they'd always go out and they would buy these fancy damn ass $1 million bats. And they'd bring them out to practice and, I want to use your bat. Your bat's cool. And I said, guys, a $500 bat can't fix a 5-cent swing. Like, we got to get fundamentals down before we start worrying about barrel width and torpedo bats and exit velocity. And, the StatCast area has been really fun for the fan, but it's really done a number to these kids' swings who just want to hit the long ball and swing as hard as they can so that they can get the fastest exit velo. And I says, guys, we gotta hit oppo first. I want to teach you to pitch it or to hit it where it's pitched. Sometimes that's opposite field. We can't execute that. I say that saying this. I got a driver last year. A friend had just loaned me a driver. He got brand new set of clubs, and he goes, "Here, you use this. I'm looking at your swing, and I can tell you that this is kind of the club that you need if you want to put some distance and honestly straightness on the golf ball." That's been one of my big bugaboos is I can crush the ball 250 yards, but it's going to go 250 yards off to the right, and then I'm playing in the trees and woods and sand. He got me this driver. He said, swing this a couple times. Well, that back nine, when I played that back nine in that last tournament that I played, I was crushing the crap out of that ball. And so I say that saying sometimes it is the equipment that you're using.
Wow.
Yeah.
So look for you and Gino. Yeah, you and Gino could be an odds-on favorite for
could be
the
a
fourth
dangerous
flight.
Pairing.
For the fourth flight.
Hey, as long as we cash, I don't care what flight we're in. If there's cash at the end of the day.
So yeah, they've got you penciled into the July 4th tournament down in Blue Hill. You and Gino.
Outstanding. I love playing golf with Gino. He hits the ball straight. He gets it in the fairway, and he allows me the ability to just swing away, which is a really good golf partner to have in those kind of tournaments.
And then you come up there and smack the ball. If you just happen to get it in the fairway, then that's great.
Then that's amazing.
But
yeah,
that's probably not going to happen.
Yeah.
If you're going to play 18 holes, it might happen once.
Wow. You're saying 1 out of 18 we were going to use my drives?
Yeah, maybe twice. I've seen you play before. The other times you're looking for your ball over in the trees, like we talked about yesterday, and then you can't find your ball, so you just kind of, oh, here it is.
Just
right
do a
here.
little dropsy. Yeah. Check my cargo shorts when we go out to the golf course, because those cargo shorts are going to have about 3 or 4 balls in case we lose one in
here
the
it is,
woods.
right here on the edge of the fairway. Why couldn't I see that? I drove by it 5 times. It was sitting right here. Yeah, sitting right here. Not over here in the woods or the swamp. So anyway, that's look out for the
4th
people.
of July. You guys signing up?
4th of July tournament. Probably not, because it's probably a lake mission for me and the wife. We've talked about maybe going to the lake and then coming over to the golf tournament and going back to the lake. But
oh, God.
If we could just find a driver. Not a driver that we're going to use on the golf course.
Right.
We need a driver to get back to the lake. How the hell will we get back to the lake?
Yeah, you've been to that Blue Hill Golf Tournament in the past.
Yeah.
We all need drivers.
Well, me and the IT guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we played in that thing before. How do we ever get back to the lake? There's no way.
Yeah.
If I can find me a driver.
Future Will? Call into action?
Oh, yeah, Future Will could do it. Never thought of that. She could ride around in the golf cart with us. Yeah,
they could have their quality bonding time.
Oh, yeah.
We could golf.
Future
you could
Will.
get back to the lake. See, I'm a problem solver. It's what I do.
She could do that. She could do that. That's an idea. I'll bring it up. I'll see her this weekend. I'll bring it up.
Oh, today, 17th day of April, by the way. A couple big days that we want to highlight today. I talked a little bit about $500 bats. Different bat, the actual bat, the rat that flies with wings that we got freaked out by. It's Bat Appreciation Day. And how do you appreciate a bat?
They're kind of cute.
They are not cute. Have you seen one up close? They're not cute.
No,
They're
I've
ugly
never
as sin.
seen one. Well, what do they do? Eat bugs?
Pretty much. And then scare the crap out of you. We had like a couple of years ago, my mom calls me frantically, and she's like, there's something in the basement. There's something in the basement, and come and take a look. But I don't know what it is, but I think it's a bat. So I go over to my parents' house, walk downstairs. All the cats are like just fixated on this corner of the basement. I look over, sure enough, this bat's just kind of hanging there, just chilling out, sleeping at the time. And I said, nope. I said, hard no. I grabbed the cats. I said, we went upstairs. We shut the basement door. We opened the door to get to the basement access. And I go, we're just going to leave this open all night and see if it flies out. And sure enough, next morning it flew out.
What were you going to do?
Yeah, I'm not equipped.
We're going to capture this bat?
Well, I don't know if she wanted me to like grab a shoe, but yeah, I mean,
grab a shoe.
I wasn't going to like naturally trap this and get it back to its natural habitat. I don't know how to do that. I'm not trained in the art of bat capturing. I called my buddy, who's
you're
like,
gonna grab it. No, wait, you were going to grab a shoe? What were you going to do with it? Hit it?
Sure.
You're not going to hit a bat.
That's what you do to things like that.
No, he's flying around. You're not going to hit a bat out of here with
he was sleeping.
With a shoe?
I figured it was a good opportunity for a sneak attack. Anyways, but I freaked out, like got close, and I'm like, no, if he sees me, he's flying, and he's probably going to give me, a bite that gets me to be Batman or something. I don't know how that all works or in fairy tales, but yeah, lo and behold, so I call my buddy who's an exterminator, and I'm like, hey, I've got this bat. Can you come and trap it? And he goes, oh, hell no, we don't do bats. And I said, oh, great. He goes, just leave the basement door open and see if it flies out. And sure enough, it woke up. It said, where the hell am I? And time to get out of here.
So your mom's never had another bat problem?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
Either that or she's just now taking the advice. So, yeah, the bats.
Bat Appreciation Day today.
Is there a torpedo driver on the market? Ryan Martin asking about golf clubs. A torpedo driver.
Speaking of that, we talked about torpedo bats for a couple of weeks, and now I haven't heard anything. What's the latest?
They've faded into irrelevance as far as the sports world is concerned. Turns out the New York Yankees are human after all, and it's not just necessarily torpedo bats. It might have been Brewers pitching that accommodated to all those 20-some-odd runs and 19 home runs that they had in their opening series. More and more teams are starting to use them. More and more players are getting acclimated and getting used to the wider barrels. And now that they're kind of widely accepted and MLB says we're not going to do a thing about them because we think they're good for the game, and it's on the teams to start integrating those into their routine, into their repertoire, into the arsenal. And so torpedo bats accepted.
So, yeah, we just haven't heard anything about them. For about 2 weeks, that's what was kind of dominating the sports headlines is these torpedo bats.
They wanted a controversy. They wanted something to talk about. I mean, it's baseball, and you have 162 games of this, so you got to figure out ways to make headlines. And because it was the Yankees, if it's anybody else, it's probably not raising to the point of the headlines and the hysteria that it did. But because it was the New York Yankees, and everybody thinks that the Yankees just cheat or buy their way into playoff spots and championships, they had to make a deal about it. But now that other teams are using them and seeing some success, even albeit on a limited basis, they're like, oh, no, these things are cool.
Yeah, you don't hear about the offensive explosion that the Yankees had in that one series or two series at the beginning of the season and just kind of faded away. You brought up the torpedo stuff, and I thought, no, we haven't heard about that for a while. What's going on with that?
Yeah, no, pretty much that got buried pretty quick. It was a fad. It's over. I'm kind of hoping the action figure fad follows suit and ends because, boy, that's just dominated my social media scrolling time lately is seeing everybody in their action figures. Although we did follow suit and we, of course, had to join the trend because we're all but trendy here on Extreme Sports. So
But I liked our action figures.
I think they're good.
I still think we need to do something with them.
We need to find a guy with a 3D printer and turn these bad boys into life, and then hell, we can mass produce and,
I was thinking like making like a G.I. Joe type. Remember them? G.I. Joe?
G.I. Joes.
Was that way before your time?
No, I was a G.I. Joe fanatic.
I mean, we could make our action figures kind of like that. People could buy clothes and dress our action figures.
As a kid growing up, I had like a 3-way battle between Transformers, G.I. Joes, and Ninja Turtles. And they would all ride to battle in their Hot Wheels cars. I mean, yeah, that's what I was rolling with. You're going right up my alley with G.I. Joes.
So I think we ought to turn our action figures into something like that. If somebody could do that in our lobby.
You want to be like a Navy SEAL action figure?
God, who could do that?
I could probably make one on AI right now. Get you the G.I. Joe edition.
No, I want to hold it in my hand.
Yeah.
Like a G.I. Joe. Well,
that's what I'm saying.
Who could mass produce that? Do we have anybody in our lobby that could do that?
Probably not for free. Probably not for our asking price. Hey, can you do this for free?
We're in this free stuff. I know it might take a few bucks to mass produce these. But look at the money we can make. Look at the money that we could make. We could sell those things. We're onto something here, and we're just going to let it go by the wayside.
We're not going to let it go by. I'll find a maker, and we'll roll out the first line.
There's a chance we could make some money on this. There he is, and we're just going to let it go by the wayside.
Pump the brakes.
That's what Shane's going to say. No, we're not going to get into action figures. We got enough on our plate.
I just think the fad's not going to last long enough to cash in. I think it's here for a short time. I don't know.
It might take 6 months, a year to even get them out.
But they would still be just cool to have like on the desk.
I know.
Like make our little bobbleheads, only we're action figures. And
I know, it'd be cool.
Each month, like roll out a new theme. And have the Super Bowl edition action figures where
I know
you're in your red jersey, I'm in my blue. The AFC title game edition. There's There's some potential here.
There's some potential here.
The golf edition.
Yeah. With you walking around in your flip-flops in your golf club.
There's nothing wrong with playing golf in flip-flops.
No, that's dorky.
I don't
looking.
understand why everyone laughs when I come to golf in my flip-flops.
That's dorky looking. Did you see anybody out in the Masters last week in flip-flops?
Well, no, I even make it like worse because I'll leave the flip-flops at the golf cart and I'll head out there barefoot.
I know you do.
Yep. It doesn't bother me at all. And everybody else is like, you're a dweeb.
Yeah, you walk around barefoot at the golf course.
Yeah, it's fine.
It looks like a dork.
Just like you're talking about catching bats 101. Use a fishing net to catch them, just like a big butterfly net.
I guess that would work. God, we're talking about nothing sports related today. We got started by talking about lawnmowers. Now we're talking about catching bats. This is a kind of a sports related show.
Right. We covered all the sports topics, though. Have we not?
We have.
What else you got?
Well, we're talking about bats and lawnmowers. Anyway, that's what we do here. Waking up with Mike and Tyson this morning, 7:55 on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
All right, don't bat your eyes. We'll mow over this pretty quickly here. 5 minutes till 8 o'clock. We'll focus in on Give Hastings Day today. Early giving now open for Give Hastings Day, the fundraising event that will culminate on Thursday, May 1st. It's now in its 12th year, and Give Hastings Day allows donors to support any combination of 113 Adams County nonprofits with just one gift. And since 2014, Give Hastings Day has raised over $6.5 million for 152 local nonprofit organizations. A record $1.1 million was raised a year ago, a healthy increase from the humble beginnings of the $339,000 that was raised in 2014. Now through Sunday, April 27th, you can round up your checkout total at Russ's Market and Allen's Food Mart in Hastings, with those funds going to support all of the nonprofits. This Give Hastings Day, the Hastings Public Library inviting the community to rally behind a transformational initiative, the 302 Project, the campaign that will turn the former gas station site adjacent to the library into a vibrant green space, bringing new life to the downtown area and creating a welcoming, accessible, and environmentally conscious hub. The 302 Project is more than a beautification effort. It's a commitment to community connection and outdoor engagement. Hastings Public Library has a goal of $15,000 to support the project. Meanwhile, Hastings Fire and Rescue also seeking some public support from Give Hastings Day for the purchase of 2 vein finders for their frontline apparatus. Hastings Fire and Rescue has a goal to raise $8,000 to dramatically enhance the ability of firefighters, paramedics, emergency medical technicians to deliver first-rate emergency services to the city of Hastings and surrounding communities. Medical emergencies make up for 70% of the calls that Hastings Fire and Rescue responds to, and with IV implementation being a major part of those rescues. The portable device shows veins in real time with no lag, allowing the device to accommodate patient movement while giving the EMT providers the ability to view an area that otherwise they would not be able to. It is now 7:57. About 3 minutes till 8 o'clock. We'll swing it over to Mike Will for your check on sports.
Well, Nebraska head men's basketball coach Fred Hoiberg has filled the open assistant coach position on his staff. He's expected to hire Wyoming assistant coach Pat Monahan to fill the spot left vacant when Adam Howard left last month to take a job at North Carolina State. Monahan spent last season at Wyoming. Nebraska's likely starting punter for next season has entered the transfer portal. Jack McAllister, who transferred from Washington back in December with 1 year of eligibility remaining, announced his decision on social media yesterday. That leaves Camden Cook as the only punter on Nebraska's roster right now. He was a redshirt freshman last year who was the number 2 punter behind a senior Brian Bushnini, but did not see any action. Huskers also lost a wide receiver to the transfer portal yesterday in Alex Bullock. He is a former walk-on. He spent the last 2 years with Nebraska. The Nebraska women's basketball team has added 2 players to their roster. Huskers have picked up Maryland transfer Emily Fisher from the transfer portal and has also signed newcomer Elena Neal out of National High School Power Ontario Christian out in California. And the Hastings College baseball team will be in action today against Midland out at Duncan Field. Action gets underway at 1 this afternoon. Pre-game show begins at 12:45 here on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning weather update on Extreme Sports with Chief Meteorologist Tim Jones.
Another warm day on this Thursday. The wind returns, and there's a chance for severe thunderstorms to the east of the Tri-Cities. Hey, everybody. Tim Jones, Nebraska Weather TV. 87 is the high today. We'll see increasing clouds through the afternoon. Southerly winds 10 to 15, gusting to 25. There is a slight risk in our area for large hail damaging winds, an enhanced risk in the eastern part of the state for large hail damaging winds and an isolated tornado. The threat would be closer to Omaha. For us, it's very possible we may not even get a drop of rain.
South winds this morning at 13. It's 60 degrees at Extreme Sports.
Connet Auto Care is the trusted name in automotive repair and maintenance services in Hastings. We're a gold-certified Napa Auto Care Center. Our ASE-certified technicians have the Blue Seal of Excellence, receive continuous training, and are committed to providing the best service your vehicle can get. Whether it's preventative maintenance, major repairs, or just an oil change, Connet Auto Care is here for you.
Accessible and affordable holistic care is just around the corner at Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center. Located at 208 South Burlington Avenue, Suite 101 in Hastings. At Bamboo Spa, we offer a range of therapies to help you unwind and recharge. Experience soothing massages, rejuvenating head spa scalp treatments, and our Advanced Glow 2 facials. Discover the healing power of ozone therapy and frequency healing. Become a member for exclusive 24-hour access to our therapeutic amenities, including the infrared sauna, hydro massage, and cryo lounge. Members enjoy 20% off all services and 10% off products in our non-toxic retail shop. Visit our Facebook page to learn more and book your appointment today. Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center, truly holistic care, designed for you.
All right, Mike Will, Tyson Avronic. It's Thursday morning here, waking up, getting you out the door. Hopefully you're out the door if you have to be to work at 8 o'clock.
Otherwise, you're like me.
Yeah, you're just a skosh late, but that's all right. Just tell you we're listening to the idiots on the web.
I was getting my lawn care tips, boss.
Hey, give me all the news, weather, and sports I needed, and they were in the lawn care today and rodent repair.
Fascinating conversation.
I guess not rodent repair, rodent
removal.
Capturing. Yeah, removal.
Yeah.
All right, so I got baseball later on today. Hastings College and Midland. Action gets underway at 1. Doubleheader today between the Broncos and the Warriors. On the air with a pregame, 12:45 this afternoon here on Extreme Sports. We'll keep our eyes on the high school action as well throughout the day. Adams Central taking on Aurora out of the Smith Complex. Hastings High playing on the road today at top-seeded Bennington in the semifinals of the Eastern Midlands Conference Baseball Tournament. So that's what's on my plate today. What's on yours?
I am class and over to First Street to work
that's right.
today. So it's the double duty day today. But, I got a presentation coming in today, and we're going to get more info on Give Hastings Day. We'll share some of that coming up on Monday's show from Dan Peters from the Hastings Community Foundation. And then back to the grind over at First Street Brewing, and we'll serve up some suds and some happiness. So
there's nothing wrong with ending your day with suds and happiness.
Absolutely.
We'll also catch up with Hastings College football coach Matt Franzen here today. Get an update on spring football practice as the Broncos are nearing the end of their spring football workout. So we'll see how the coach feels about what has transpired here over the past couple of weeks. So busy day for us today. We'll get back together again tomorrow morning with Huddle Up here on Extreme Sports. And you can listen to this show again. It's one of our award-winning episodes, I'm sure. Listen to this show again in all of our podcast sections. You can download that on the social media sites, even on the Roku TV. Listen to this show again in its entirety. Tomorrow's Friday. So that means we're going to be talking horses tomorrow. Jim Slacker from the Nebraska Thoroughbred Racing Network will join us, get you set for another busy weekend of racing at Fodder and across the nation. So looking forward to talking and meeting up with Jimbo again tomorrow on the show. So that'll wrap things up. Anything else on your plate?
That takes care of things on my end.
Hop into the buggy and let's get on down the road, shall we?
Well, let's do it.
Have yourself a great day. We'll see you again tomorrow.